Welcome. This video is the first in a series of videos showing possible applications of our device. The previous videos were supposed to accustom you with the device's software and functions. The following will show you how you can use the device in houses, residential buildings, industries, etc. This particular video will show you how to make the device work like a time delay switch. Time delay switches are commonly used in buildings to control the lighting in corridors, staircases, and generally places that need the lights to be on only for a short period of time. When you turn on the lights using a normal switch, they will stay on until you turn them off. A time delay switch turns them off automatically after a certain period of time. The length of this period is defined by the user. This system is very cost effective as it reduces the amount of power consumed. When these types of switches are not used, the users often forget about the lights and leave them on unnecessarily for a long period of time. The weakness of these types of switches is that they can be locked in the on position using various objects depending on the shape of the switch. You will see how to deal with this problem with the help of our device. Now, let's move on to our example. An input will act as the switch and an output as the light. First, double-click on one of the X's above the input buttons. Your cursor will change from an arrow to a hand when you put it in the appropriate place. When you double-click, the input configuration window will pop out. A detailed description of this window is found in the manual. The only settings you need to change in this window are the mode of operation and the INP to X logic functions. For our example, we will use input number 1. First, you need to set the mode of operation to monostable plus click. A time delay switch is monostable, meaning it is stable in only one position. Normally, when you press a time delay switch to turn on the lights, it will jump back to its previous position after you let go. The lights, however, will go off only after a certain amount of time has passed. A toggle switch is an example of a bistable switch. It is stable in both positions you can put it in. This means that when you turn the lights on using a toggle switch, they will stay on until you turn them off. The switch will not jump back to its previous position and the lights will not switch off automatically. The plus click part means that you can control this input using the software. If you choose monostable instead of monostable plus click, it will only react to the actual electric current flowing into the input. Next, set the INP to X logic functions for the variable x1 to INP1. This means that the status of the x1 variable is dependent on the status of the INP1 input. Press the Save button to confirm changes in the configuration and exit this window. You are now back in the main window. Double-click one of the Ys below the relay buttons. Like previously, the cursor will change to a hand when you find the appropriate place. The output configuration window will pop out. A detailed description of this window is found in the manual. First of all, you need to choose the Y variable and the signal function you want to use. In this example, we will use the variable Y1. Our signal function is x1 as it transmits the signal from the input imitating our switch. The output changes its state when it detects this function. Next, we need to set the values of time to off and timeout time. For the purpose of this example, the values will be kept low as to keep this video as short as possible. You may, however, enter bigger values if you wish. There are no restrictions on the size of the value you enter. We set the time to off to 5 seconds. This means that the relay will switch off 5 seconds after the signal function disappears. Therefore, if input number 1 is your switch and relay number 1 your lights, it would mean that the lights will go on when you press the input button and go off 5 seconds later. Next, set the timeout time to 6 seconds. This is the period of time after which the relay will switch off even if the signal function does not disappear. Therefore, if the switch was blocked and could not jump back, the program would override the blockade and turn off the lights anyway. Press the Save button to confirm the changes made and exit the window. Now, let's see how this looks in practice. We're back in the program's main window. First, you need to enter the safety pin code 147. Click the INP1 button. It will do a single blink in yellow. Next, the REL1 button will turn green, meaning this relay is working, so the lights are on. It will change its color to red when the time to off countdown starts. After 5 seconds, the REL1 button will switch off. Repeat this a few times to get a better look at what is happening. Now, let's see what happens if we block our switch. Enter the input configuration window and change the mode of operation of input 1 to bistable plus click. Save the configuration and exit this window. Click on the INP1 button. It will turn yellow and stay on until you turn it off. The REL1 button also switches on but turns off immediately after the set timeout time, in this example 6 seconds, has passed. Notice that the Y1 light in the main window stays on. This means that the Y1 variable is still active. It will be deactivated when you switch off the INP1 button. We hope you understood and enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.